Grandmaster invites a black woman to play chess as a joke, instantly regrets it after her first move. Wait a second, let us know where you're watching from in the comments, and make sure to subscribe for more powerful and inspiring stories just like this one. At a prestigious chess club, where leather chairs and polished trophies lined the walls, whispers echoed about a surprise guest, a black woman, young and confident, walking through doors few like her ever did. Some scoffed, others laughed. One grandmaster smirked, inviting her to a match, not out of respect, but mockery. Cameras rolled. He called it a friendly challenge, but from the moment she moved her first piece, the atmosphere shifted. What followed wasn't just a game, it was a reckoning. How does one quiet a room that's never truly heard you? Watch until the end. Janelle had always loved chess, not for the trophies or titles, but for the silence. In those moments over the board, strategy mattered more than skin. Yet, in the elite spaces of the sport, silence wasn't always kind. After years of studying, winning local tournaments, and teaching inner-city youth how to outthink their limitations, she received an unexpected invitation to the most prestigious club in the city. It was a space few women of color had entered, let alone been welcomed into. Dressed modestly with a calm fire in her eyes, she entered knowing this wasn't just about a game, it was about presence. The room was filled with murmurs, sideways glances, and smirks. Sitting across from her, a celebrated grandmaster, older, smug, and confident of his superiority. He offered her the first move with a grin that said, "This will be quick." But Janelle had no plans of making it easy. Her fingers touched the pawn and glided it forward. Simple, calculated. He barely looked at the board before countering. The audience chuckled. To them, this was a novelty, a joke, another moment to show why certain traditions stay exclusive. But with each move, Janelle dismantled their assumptions. Her strategy wasn't flashy, it was precise. She played like someone who had studied her opponent's entire career, learned his rhythms, and prepared for this moment. 20 minutes in, the Grandmaster began to fidget. The smirk faded. His pieces were scattered, defenses breached. He paused longer between turns. A bead of sweat rolled down his temple. The crowd's tone shifted from laughter to unease. Phones started recording. She captured his queen without blinking. He looked up, as if seeing her for the first time, not as a guest, not as a novelty, but as a threat. He leaned in and whispered something no one could hear. Her eyes didn't flinch. Then, in a move that mirrored one of his own from a famous championship decades ago, she forced him into a trap so elegant, so final, that it silenced the room. Checkmate was just 2 moves away, and he knew it. A hush fell. And then, the unthinkable. He tipped over his king. The Grandmaster stood, face flushed, refusing eye contact. Without a word, he left the room. A storm of whispers followed. Janelle sat still, composed, letting the moment breathe. She hadn't just beaten him, she'd exposed something deeper. Not just his defeat, but the quiet arrogance of a world that never believed someone like her could belong. Cameras captured her sitting alone at the board, victorious, yet untouched by the applause that slowly began. People clapped, not just for the win, but for the truth, a truth they'd ignored for too long. She didn't smile, she didn't bow. She just gathered her things, nodded once, and walked out the same way she came in, unapologetic, unafraid. The question wasn't if she belonged, it was why had they assumed she didn't. Janelle's victory made headlines, but it wasn't the checkmate that mattered. It was what it exposed. That room, once closed off, had to open its eyes. She inspired thousands, especially young black girls, to pick up chessboards and believe they could rewrite the rules as well. But Janelle didn't return for more matches or interviews. She returned to her community, teaching strategy, confidence, and quiet resilience. showing others how to navigate a world that doubts them. The club? It never quite laughed the same again, because sometimes one game is enough to shatter generations of bias. And you? If one move can change a game, how many will it take to change the world? Comment below which country and city you're watching from. Let's make sure these stories are heard everywhere. Take care.